What is up, everyone? Here we are today with another crate challenge on Battlefield. Obviously, there's 2 crate challenges. So there are different map sets for crate challenge sometimes. Today, we're going to be playing the AgentShadow Chem deck, sponsored by Doomgirl. So this is the Chem deck that AgentShadow plays. Basically, I think it's basically when he wants to beat Fnatic decks, he plays this. It's very close to his standard list. It's Militants and Chem instead of Fnatic and Wheel, basically. So it's still the same sort of idea. There's also a Jade in there. I actually think the deck might be better without Jade. Like, I don't think Jade's that good. I think the reason to play Chems is to beat up on Fanatics. I don't think the Jade missile gives you that much extra. Especially if the purpose of the deck is to kill Fanatics, then the Jade missile is very bad against that deck. So I think it might be better to have a different commander if that's the purpose of the deck. However, the Jade base kill is still a thing. By not playing Jade, you do lose that out. So I don't know. I'm not saying, like, for ladder play, you probably play Jade. But for tournaments, if you're expecting Fanatics and you're bringing this, you should probably play Oksana or Seth. Probably Oksana. Depends on the map. If it's a spread out map, Seth is probably slightly better. Alright, so we're going to play this deck. We're probably not going to go too hard on base killing because the map is Battlefield. Quite difficult to get across to your opponent's base on Battlefield. But we'll do some base killing if the opportunity arises.
Establishing battlefield control. 3, 2, 1. New objective available.
Alright, so we're going to open rifles before Harvester, make sure we're not getting rushed. And also get that missile charging. We are getting rushed. Okay, so the best answer to a rush is to not build a Harvester. The best way to beat a rush. They can't rush your Harvester if you haven't got one. So now what we do is we go and block his Harvester spot. Alright, now he's gone Barracks and Militant. So this means that he's spent a lot of money. He can't get a Harvester soon. So now we go Harvester now that we've got defenses for it in these lasers. And we want to stall the missile at this point, because now we're a Harvester deck and he's not a Harvester deck at this point. So we're not looking to fire the missile ASAP anymore. He's making a lot of Barracks units, so we're just going to make some Chems. Chems should be very good against him, unless he has something like a buggy or a wheel. Something like that. There's some bikes, don't care about them. Probably going to go for my Harvester, because he basically has to kill a Harvester to get back into this game now, because he spent all of his money early game. Gonna need something if he wants to get back into it. Yeah, so he's going for the Harvester, ignoring the missile. That makes sense from his perspective, because he basically has to kill this Harvester to be able to play the game anymore. Of course, the downside for him is that I just get to win the missile and go for his base now. I'm going to kill off these units, and then I'm going to just go base. He's going to, yeah, just surrender. That's the best way to beat a rush, is not have a Harvester. Alright, we're going to go rifles first again. Yes, rush, we want to scout it. Wheels, that's not really a rush. He could potentially follow this up with bikes, but it's unlikely. It's probably just a wheel start. We'll get lasers. The key to beating wheels with lasers, generally just to get 2 lasers. Can't really beat 2 wheels with 1 laser. Unless you get 2 one-on-ones, which you need to try and use your militants to block to make sure they can't stop you getting 1v1s. But generally speaking, you just want to get the second laser out. There's a Chuggy. Run away from that. To beat a Chuggy, I need to set up double laser on defense, really. Like this. Now we get some damage in there. We're not going to beat the Chuggy outright here, but we'll get a lot of damage on it. And it does cost 60, so getting a lot of damage on it is pretty good. And then we can just go into bikes. Generally speaking, decks that only have wheels and Chuggy as anti-infantry are pretty weak to. Because although Chuggy is very good, it's very hard to get it to be efficient against this many lasers. Like, if I just make lasers, it's really hard for his Chuggies to be efficient against them. Yeah, until he shows me a way to hard counter laser, I'm just going to keep making lasers. And this way I'll save up a ton of money, and then I can make Shade whenever I want. And then Shade should hard counter the chem. What it comes down to basically is that he has no way to push lasers, which is a big issue for him. You can see how like this laser wall is so hard for him to attack into, and that's one of the big weaknesses of playing a wheel chuggy deck.
You are victorious. 3, 2, 1. New objective received. Harvester ready.
The rifles and scout. One harvester, no build. Make barracks. So because he's made barracks, I'm gonna make a second rifle.
Destroy the GDI! Destroy the GD! We're ready to serve. For Kane!
Harvester, we'll go for a block. See if we'll make a third rifle. One is now occupied doing this.
Destroy the GDI! We're ready to serve. The unbelievers will suffer. Let's go. Rip them
We'll
apart.
block this harvester out.
Destroy the GDI!
Looks like he's just gonna give up the missile entirely, so I'm gonna make chems to be ready to go after the base.
Ready to serve. Militia here. We're ready for the
Yeah, he doesn't care at all. Alright, so we're gonna win this missile easily, and then we'll go for the base with chem troopers.
Missile launched. Unit offline.
Take a deep breath.
Unit offline.
There's no reason to actually fire the base yet. I think we can get some more damage with the chem warriors. Get closer to being dead. You need a little bit of chip damage. Flame tank, now we fire. Then we'll go shades. We get the flame tank at the same time, and as you can see, because we delayed, we got some extra damage. The base is almost dead. Now we just need anything and it dies. Send these shades in the AFK. There it is.
Mission accomplished. 3, 2, 1. New mission received. Harvester ready.
A rush, so we get harvester. We see militant. Sit on defense. Wait for my second militant.
Unit ready.
Almost certainly going to make a second militant as well. I want to stop him. I'm going to go for a 2v1 here because his is split up. I can get 2v1 and punish the fact that his units aren't together. There's a second harvester, so we want to charge the missile. We'll clean up these missiles as well. Alright, so usually people tend to tech switch into air. These spots, like when they go double harvester and they're losing the rifle war, they usually go air unit. So we'll see if that's what this guy does. At the moment it looks like he's just letting the missile go. So again, we're just going to make some chems and bring them over to his base. Alright, yeah, so he just lets the missile go completely. Get the chems and head over.
Unit offline.
Got a war factory and a flame tank again. Oh.
Unit offline.
Obviously this time I need to fire the missile ASAP because there's a flame tank coming. And again, with the extra cloud from the flame tank itself, the base is almost dead, so now we just send a shade over and we win. Oh, a phantom. Uh-oh. Alright, never mind. We have to keep playing the game. At some point, we just need to get a unit to his base to win the game. So, it would be fairly simple. Boosted flame tank. Just block that out and then we should win the game. He might kill both his rifles in time. No, he doesn't, and we win. I mean, even if he wins that missile, he has to block all of my units getting to his base for the rest of the game. So.
Enemy base destroyed. 3, 2, 1. New objective
Okay,
received.
gonna start with the rifle scout, although against GDI it's a lot less relevant. Mostly the reason I'm going rifles first against this guy is to charge the missile, because he's playing Solomon, Event. Quite a lot of people who play Solomon are also playing double harvester, so I'm kind of just assuming that he's going to be playing Solomon double halve. Therefore I want to charge the missile ASAP. Alright, shocks. Shocks are actually pretty good against this deck, because our only anti-infantry is infantry. Shocks are pretty efficient against rifles and chems.
Unit offline.
They won't beat chems 1v1, but they're efficient versus them. They get good. Oh, and snipers, what? Shocks and snipers? That's kind of insane. Okay, so one of the things you can do against snipers with chems is just keep throwing chems at them. Chems are pretty beefy. It takes a long time for snipers to kill them. Throw enough chems at snipers, it normally goes pretty well. I mean, you can see here, obviously his micro has not been the best there, but we are killing 2 sniper squads for 1 chem, so that's pretty good. Alright, let's see if we can go after the base. Need to support our chems with rifles. Try and escort our chem to the base if possible. I'm using this rifleman to block the route to my base, so his rhino can't block me out. And then obviously once we get there, it's just a case of blowing up the base again. Alright, well we're going to need something for these rhinos, so we'll go bikes. Spent a lot of money going after the base, so we might lose second missile now. Pretty likely that we do. Oh. Yeah, okay, we do lose second missile, but now we just need to get something to his base to win. And he's gone second harvester. Not the best time to be going second harvester, honestly. I'm going to save up for a shade if these bikes don't get the job done, but it looks like the bikes have got it covered.
You are victorious. Three, two, one. New mission received. Harvester ready.
Barracks.
Unit ready.
Rifle.
Destroy the GD militia here.
Someone who, if your opponent opens missiles, they almost always are going to be playing shocks or something. Very rare to open missiles and then have like riflemen in your deck, because if you had riflemen, you could open riflemen. And the same with like dogs. You're not going to have dogs and missiles and open missiles. Open dogs. So you get a bit of a read on what your opponent has in their deck. Alright, so the reason I'm aggressive, there's the shocks as predicted. I'm aggressively hunting down these missiles so that I can bring in bikes to finish off this rhino. And then we'll probably make some chems for the shocks. I want to bring these rifles down and send this bike squad up. Oh, no, I missed it. Oh, he moved it. Okay, he could have got on that pad. He should have got on that pad. And I would have been in trouble. Alright, so we'll have our shocks fight his chems. Oh, sorry, our chems fight his shocks. Bikes to support against the rhino. Probably finish off these chems with the bikes because they're low. Then we get more chems. I would like to go to his base, but we're not maintaining good map control here, so I can't really push for the base right now. Pretty hard to push for the base against shock troopers, honestly. There's a reasonable chance I'm going to catalyst missile this top pad at some point. But now that I've almost killed his shocks, I probably won't bother. Lasers over here. Definitely going to make just more shocks. Oh, there they are. More shocks. Yeah. Rising. Keep making chems. Looks like I should be able to win the missile here. Yeah, he can't kill the rifleman in time. Okay, cool.
Mission accomplished.
Alright, this is the same guy.
New objective received.
So it's interesting to see if he adapts his opening at all. Last time we opened rifles and he opened missiles, so he shouldn't really open missiles again. He should open like Rhino or Shock. He did open barracks, he did open Shock. Okay, so he did adapt his opening, which is good, because he should remember what we opened. I think my rifles are a little bit too late. We should lose this. Should lose both our rifles to Shocks because we were a little bit late to get the 2v1. But of course, he spent a lot more than we have. Now, the fact that he spent a lot more than we have isn't that relevant, because we don't have any way to punish the shocks. Like I said before in the last game, the deck is kind of weak to shocks. We do not have a tech switch that we can go into with our spare money to punish the shock trooper. Like chem trooper is all we have, which isn't really a punish. Alright, so we do get this block and go into the rhino. Oh, whoops. Rifle's tied to the chems. We should kill this guy in time. Yes, just about. Very close. We do just about get there. Then we get bikes for both his rhinos, and we should win the missile now. The chems should hold off his missiles long enough. Yeah, cool. We are a little bit broke now, though. We have almost no money. Most of our money was invested in shock troopers. These chem troopers died. So we're going to need to preserve these bikes. It's very important that we preserve these bikes because we don't have enough money to fight his chem. We don't have enough money to fight shock spam effectively right now. So we need to keep these bikes alive to ensure that he can't use rhinos to gain efficient attack. So far it's going pretty well. These bikes are getting some good value against his rhinos, which is exactly what I want. I'm going to make one stealth tank. This stealth tank basically needs to live for the rest of the game. Oh wow, it's not a good boost. If this stealth tank dies, we're going to be in trouble, but if we can keep it alive, then it'll be amazing. We'll just keep getting value out of it over and over. Didn't mean to shoot there, but it's fine. Stealth tank is still healthy. He can't send vehicles in because the stealth tank one-shots them. Yeah. Alright. Win now.
Objective complete. Three, two, one. New mission received.
Okay, let's get...
Harvester ready.
Any jump jets or anything so we can make harvester hit. Double harvester start. Okay, so we're going to just immediately go for a second rifle. Just to get something else on the pads to help charge. And once we're charging, we can go scout his base to get an idea of what he's going to make. Okay, so he's gone barracks. The fact he's gone barracks, I'm just going to go immediately into chems. Because chems are going to be good versus his opening building, and also they're going to mean that we have chems available to bomb his base as soon as the missile fires. He actually just isn't contesting at all right now, so I'm just going to send these chems towards his base immediately. Talon, he's going to have to use that to defend his base though. Alright, I don't know. I don't think a Talon will kill these chems in time. I think we can get a pretty base bomb here. Yes, we do. Costs us all our money though, which is the downside. So now we're broke and we can't afford to fight for the missile. And we also can't afford any units to go after his base. But now we have a long time to get there, right? That's the idea. Because we've done this, we have a really long time to get there. Of course, this map is slightly awkward for us because it's quite hard to get to the base to finish it off. We are going to continue to send units towards the base though. I want to try and get shades if I can. Also, creating this pressure on his base forces him to make units, and it makes it harder for him to stall out the missile, which is what we want as well. It creates pressure and forces the game to close out sooner. Yeah, so as you can see, it's pretty hard for him to fight back because he has to send his units to defend his base. He doesn't have time to also fight for the missile, and then we just win. Even if he wins the missile, we just make like shades and spam them his base and hope that gets them.
Enemy base destroyed. Three, two, one. New objective available.
Alright, so we're going rifles to scout out if we're getting rushed in any way. He's gone militants as well. Alright, so I'm going to go harvester and wait for a bit. He's immediately stalling. This gives us some indication of what his deck is. The fact that he's immediately put his unit on the other pad could just be that he wants defender's advantage on a different... No, look, again, he's moving off, so he's stalling. But yeah, it looks very much like he wants the missile to not be charging. But because of this, I'm just going to get some chem warriors early because I want to force him into... I want to force the missile to charge, basically. Yep, there's the double harvester. You had the read because he was stalling, basically. Like, you can get an indication of what your opponent wants to do by the way they move their initial units. So now we know he wants to stall, and he's going air, which is the standard thing for people to do. What most people do normally when they play double harvester. Because it's very hard to stall with ground units, so they go air instead. Obviously, with PopCapped, we made too many militants. Made at least one too many militants. Which really hurts now, because now I have to sit here and just tank Venoms for ages. Whilst I wait for bites to arrive. And then he probably spams laser drones at me. Yep, that's exactly what he's doing. And because we're PopCapped, it's really hard to fight. This is pretty standard behavior. This is what you see like lots of 2-half decks doing. Maybe the chems was a mistake because I spent too much money on it, I'm not sure. We fire the missile, but he gets a ton of stall out of it, which is that's just how that goes. When you're playing air again, when you're playing laser drone Venom versus Nod, you're always going to get stalled because it's really hard for Nod to shut down laser drones early on. And now we try and escort chems to the base. He is probably going to make a tech unit fairly soon. I shouldn't have made this stank. That was a misplay because now I can't afford the missile. Huge misplay. Can I get there in time? No, and there's the avatar. So now we're in a lot of trouble. Killing an avatar is going to be really hard. We have shades. I shouldn't have made these bikes, so now I can't afford the shade. But yeah, I've misplayed a lot of times in this game. Now we're in a lot of trouble. Almost certainly going to have Phantom as well. It would be insane not to. Looks like he's just going for my Harvester, which is really, really a bad play on his part, actually. Because he needs to be on these pads. Like, if he's not on these pads, I can just fire the missile. Yeah, I don't know what his avatar's doing. He's just going to lose while his avatar kills my Harvester. That's literally what's going to happen here. What are you doing, Jamboism? You've got to win one of the missiles, mate. Alright, fair enough.
Mission accomplished.
Okay, so we're against the same guy. We know what his strategy was. I'm going to go blind. I'm going to go double militant opening, probably. Because I don't want him getting any stall at the start of the game with his opening militant. I really want to charge this missile. I want to pressure it. So going double militant opening. Wow, he's got militant laser. I don't understand why he did that. That's a very odd choice by our opponent. I don't understand why he did this. Again, we're going to keep missile charging as much as possible. And we know that he wants to go into Venoms next. So I'm going to make one more rifle and then stop making rifles. I'm also going to put this one blocking him, so he has to kill it if he wants to stall the missile.
Unit offline.
Don't want to make another rifle. If I see another rifle from him, I'll make another one. Otherwise, I'm going to go War Factory when his Venom arrives. Yep, there it is. And this time we already have the bikes ready to go. We're going to get the 2v1 with our rifles as well. And then we're going to make lasers. Well, he made another Venom, so I'll make another bike. But I want to get lasers ready to go so that I can punish the laser drones. This game has gone a lot worse for our opponent, honestly. Like, it went a lot better last time. He got way more stall. But this time, he like those early lasers made no sense. They really hurt him. Yeah, he only just made second Harvester. Generally, my experience of playing these super unit decks is that if your second Harvester is that delayed, you're never going to get there before the missile fires. That's generally been my experience. But we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, if he can get a lot of stall, he can do it. But it's late game now as well, so I can afford my bigger units. So I can afford to go like Stealth Tank, which one-shots the Venoms. Makes it even harder for him to stall the missile. Alright, so we're gonna get some lasers now for the laser drones. Yeah, and it doesn't look like the Venom. It doesn't look like there's any chance of an avatar arriving. And there you go. Going second half that late, you're never going to get the avatar in time.
Objective complete.
There we go, guys. 10-0 with the AgentShadow Jade deck. A lot of the time we play nonsense on these videos. This is a good deck. This is a real deck you can play and make, like, you know, high Tiberium with. This, like a playable deck. It's not as good as Stank Fanatic, but it is definitely a playable deck. The biggest issue with this one is it's weak to Razorback decks. If you don't have boosted Stealth Tank, it's quite hard to catch Razorbacks. So that's the biggest issue with this deck, but it's very good against Fanatics. So definitely a playable deck. Probably not like the best ladder deck because it's not Stank Fanatic, which is the actual best ladder deck. But it's a good deck for sure. If you want to play chems and lasers, chems and Jade, then this is a good one to do it on. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed that one, and I'll see you